Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Mayansh, watching your tech and coding channel MyCodeWorks. So guys, today we are going to see the get request or get method in REST assured. So as we started learning REST assured, today we are going to see how to get the data from API endpoints in REST assured. So first let's directly jump into the Eclipse workspace where we created a project using Maven, and then in previous video I show you how to set up REST assured in Eclipse. So as already we have set up, now I will start writing the script and I will tell you what are the things there to work on the get request. So instead of explaining directly, then I will tell you first, let's go through the REST assured library first, and let's see what are the methods are available in REST assured, and then we'll start using the things. So as I have already imported REST assured, here you can see import io.restassured.rest assured as a class. And inside this, if I go directly as a what is, let's check what it is. It's a class first thing. So if I say it's a class first thing, then a lot of if you click on any class, right, you will get a documentation dot class file, and in dot class file you will get the whole source code written for the particular library. So as you can see there, this is a REST class. Inside REST assured is a class. Inside a lot of things are already as a static. There is lot of default variables are there, final variables are there, which are all being as a static variables, I can say, right? And if I say methods, if I say methods inside this one, so we have a lot of static methods. If I say, I think all of them are static almost. When we see no any methods are concrete, all of them as a static, and I can see that all the methods are static. So why they are making as a static first thing, and why it is important in static, like why is important, static is important here, right? So I will tell you, right? Let's directly move to here. So static is something that we don't need any. I will directly explain the things in the board. Okay, so static basically talks about that. Static is something, it's related to, belongs to class, not to object, I can say. So basically it's something, a variable or a method which don't need an object to access it. Basically if I say here is a class test, and inside that I created a static int a as a 10 and int b as a 20, right? So here if you see, I made this variable as a static. So to access this variable, I don't need an instance of this class. I directly can access this using test or class name. So how I will access this? Test dot a. This will return me the 10 as a value, but I cannot access directly with test dot b. I cannot access this because this is a instance specific variable, not a class variable. So I need to access, then what I will do, I will create a new test or object of this class, and then dot, if I do b, then I can easily get this 20 value, because this is a instant variable and this is a static variable which is can be accessed using class. So this is theory. Let's directly move to our Eclipse workspace, and I will talk about the rest assured static way. So if I say I can import all the methods, all the variable inside the rest assured static way, then we can use this one. So directly we can make this static, and we can do something like this. So all the method and variable inside rest assured library is static. That's why we are able to make this, all the things are static. So no need of class, no need of class to access. Directly we can get the things, right? So suppose if I write given, I will get it as a given dot. I need to write in a test. Okay, so before that let me create a, as in previous video while setting up, we make let me do one thing. I will just make this as a, I will just delete this one, and then we'll create a package called get examples or something like. So let's create a package called get examples. I will create a package first, get examples, and inside that let's create a get users get method, or directly I can say get method. Okay, let me create a class, and inside that what I will do, I will import rest assured. I will make all of them as a static first. We'll see with the static, and then again we'll see to non-static, how to use this non-static dot star. So we imported all the variable, all the members of this class and methods as a static. Now we are going to use annotation called test that comes under test ng. So let's import that. Import test. So as you see, I already added pom.xml. Inside pom.xml I already added test ng. You can see here text ng I have added, and when we import the test, it's coming from test ng annotations, right? So let's save this and create a method called public void get users, or simply I can say get user or test case. It's a test case name, so I will just write with this one, get users, and I can write this one. Okay, so let's annotate this method with test. It's a test. As you write on the spot, it will show you run and debug. So when we wrote as a test as an annotation, and we are marking this method with this test annotation, we got this two option because of test ng. So we can debug this method, we can run this method, this test case. Basically we are making this method as a test case. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to, as I already imported as static, so we are not going to use class name. We are going to simply use, let's do with the bdd style. Now I will talk about bdd style. What is bdd style? So I will talk about bdd in the sense, if I talk about bdd, then let's go little downside. Okay, so bdd means, bdd basically it will be kind of given, when, and then. So BDD is not a software testing life cycle, but it's a kind of a part of development cycle. It's a kind of development model, I can say. It's a behavior driven development. So basically, or you can say it will be helpful for non all the stakeholders of the project. Basically, we say, then it's a kind of, we'll talk about most on BDD in next any upcoming videos, where we'll talk about what is BDD, how we can achieve BDD in our project. But as of now, we'll focus on these three keywords. Means you are given something, right? You are given this URL, and when condition is something that when you hit this particular endpoint or condition or something, then perform the assertions. Then you will get response, and you have to perform the assertion, check whether the response is having something body or status is 200, or body contains something whatever you want to assert, and like that or something. So these three keywords says that non even all kind of stakeholder can understand with these three given keywords. So we'll use this one, and these three keywords are inside that rest assured. Actually I will show you where it is. Let's directly move to this one, and so let's use this one, given dot. So when I put given, as you can see, it's a starting method. That's why we don't need any class, as we already imported all the member of this class as a static. So we can directly use the method given dot. As you can see, lot of methods are available inside this one. You have to go through all the options available here to check. But as of now, we are going to just normally we don't need any authentication and all. So we are going to use one API called request response.in. So here is one site where we have fake data, I can say, or it's an API. We can get the data directly. So let's try this. As you can see here, we have a lot of data here. We have endpoints, and we are going to use this endpoint to get the data and assert this data, right? So how we are going to get? As you can see here, request, it's requesting something else. So we are going to use request.rest.in and /API. So this will be our base path, and we are going to say that sorry, this will be our base URI, and this will be a base path for us. So let's do one thing. I will, or simply we can check here directly. We'll see the which URL is being called first. We can directly go to in network tab, and we'll get this user / page2, and we can directly copy the URL here. Let's move to our, so let's set base URI. We have method called base URI. We are directly putting this as a base URI, this URL, whole URL. Now let's go to in, as we have given this URL. Now what we are going to do, we are going to get the response. Means you are going to call the get method, means please get the data from this API endpoint or response. So if you hover on this get, what is going to return? It's going to return as a type is response. If you see here, the its return type is response. Return type is response of the get request. So now we are going to apply given. If suppose if you want to perform any, we'll also use when. As of now, we are not using directly. We'll use then, or directly log this value. We have one method called log, and we are going to log all the things. Get log get. Okay, let's put dot, and then get method we are going to apply, then dot then. Okay, so then log dot all. Okay, and now we are going to assert, so it will return the then method will return as a validatable response. Actually, if I remove this one, we'll get the validatable response, means the response that will be coming inside then method is something called, this is called we are going to say that's a builder method, you can say. It's a kind of chaining, method chaining. You will get call, you have to call first given, and then it will again we are directly putting as a dot get, again we are directly putting it then. So it's called method chaining. So inside this one, if I directly put log and then all, if I put the log and all, then we'll see that same data inside the same endpoint. So let's run this code first. So in order to run this code, we are going to simply click on run. Okay, let's run this test method, and it's going to run, and it will give me the response of this particular API endpoint. And to check whether it's returning response or not, as we are using log.all directly. So as you can see here, we got one test case run and passes as one test case. There is no failure. And if you see the response here, we are getting the response, same response, and with all the details, like as we have logged all the things. So it's reprinting all the things, what kind of status line, and then what is the date and connection type, content type, everything we can get it here directly. So as we say, here we have the body here. Inside the body we have a lot of data here. The same data it's returning here. We are getting this. Also we are getting here, right? So now time comes to validate the things, right? As we have just did what we just hit the particular API point, we are able to receive the data and we are able to log this, right? Now if I will say that, then means now I will say that status code, assert that status code is 200. First thing, again if I say, then status line should be same. Let's copy the status line here. The API endpoint status line should be same. And now let's directly validate the body. So I want that. Okay, so let's validate something from this data. I want that this per page we are getting 6, right? So let's validate that it's 6. Let's directly validate that it's 6, right? We are getting the per page at 6 value. So we are going to put as per page, and it should be equal to 6, equal to 6. So we can use the equals to 6. Okay, so we can also use matches dot equal to 6. So let's run this code again. As you can see here, this test case passed, and we are able to assert that our code is also correct, and it's asserting the status line as this one, and the body per page is also getting as a equal to 6. So we can also, like the way we can also validate the next data of this API response. So if suppose I want to validate the third member or first member or anything, I want to validate the data of first member, that it should be equal to this one, or the first name should be this one, right? So let's validate the email first. Okay, so what I will do, dot body it should be okay, so it's inside data, right? So let's go inside data, and it's array. So the first data I want to go, so we have to provide this index. And once again data 0 email, and then it should be equals to matches dot matches dot matches dot contains, I can use contains string, and this should be like this one. So let's validate once again and then run this code. In this video we just saw how to create or how to get the data in VDD style. We'll Next video we'll see how to get the data in non-VDD style. We'll see request specification and a lot of things will be there. So we'll see in next video. As of now, I want to make this video very short, so I'm just creating only writing the test case in VDD style, and as well as static method also. So static and VDD style. So in this next video we'll see how to, as you can see, we are able to validate the things, and it's working fine, and we are able to run the test case, it's passing. So perfectly we are able to validate the data, right? That's all about today video. If you get any doubt, if you get any issue in executing this kind of things, please let me in comment section. I will try to help you out, and I will see next video how to go with the non-VDD style, and what are the methods are available to check with non-VDD style. So that's all for today video. We'll meet in next video. Thanks for watching this video. Bye bye.